Welcome to my video. So today's content is going to be a little bit different from my usual type of content. In fact, today's content is about how you guys can make your own content. And if you're interested in becoming a fitness influencer or any type of social media influencer, this video is for you. My name is Noel Deyzel and I have amassed over 22 million followers cross-platform, over 10 billion views. There will be a lot of information which is all available for free to you guys. So sit back, relax, and soak this all in. So let me give you guys a little bit of backstory about myself. When getting into social media, I didn't think it was possible for me to be in the position that I am today. I really didn't. And a lot of people may think like this sounds cliche, but truly, genuinely, I was told it wasn't possible. Bear in mind, I come from the most southern tip of Africa, all right? Born and raised, I spent 36 years of my life in South Africa. There was one gentleman in the fitness space, his name was Jaco de Bruin, friend of mine, great guy, great physique, and he managed to get close to, I think, 900,000 followers, which was incredibly impressive. And everyone said, no one will be able to do it again. I don't want to take anything away from his success. But so many people said he got on at the right time. And I guess it was through everyone's struggles and through the lack of success that other people had. Everyone said that no one will be able to do it again because he got on at the beginning at the right time. So there was the precedent and the expectation that I wouldn't be able to do it. As much as I would have liked to, I wanted to be able to pursue my passion, which was bodybuilding. And I wanted to be able to monetize and live and breathe every single day the one thing that I felt so dearly and passionately about, and that was bodybuilding. And I thought the only way I'd ever be able to get this if I did some sort of coaching which was incredibly saturated in South Africa, or I owned a gym, which was very unlikely because I didn't have the money. So, intention and purpose. What is your intention and purpose as to why you want to create content? So that leads me into my first tip, which is passion and intent. What do you wish to do? What do you wish to accomplish as a content creator? My purpose from the very beginning was to help people. Do you want to help people? Do you want to educate people? Do you want to make people laugh? Do you just want to cause a stir and create some drama? You will have to establish what your intention and purpose is when deciding what it is you want to become as a creator. Or you could be a blend of those. But it's best to establish what fits your personality. What is it that you're most passionate about? Now, this might sound cliche because I'm pretty sure most of the videos that you watch where someone talks about any sort of tips when it comes to social media or content creation is establishing your niche. And though I feel that is important, because this is tip number 2, the most important thing is intent. Because your niche can change. And I'm going to get to that in a second. But establish your intent, because you can make content around your intent and purpose and still switch your niche. Example, when I started out and I started making content, I was so focused on my purpose being education and value, and the niche being bodybuilding and fitness, which was primarily around fitness and physical advice, which was training tips. Then I evolved into meal prep. And then I further evolved into mental health. But the primary purpose there was still helping people, because I'm assisting and enabling and helping through fitness advice, through meal prep advice, and through mental health tips. Even my niche, I've expanded a little bit on my niche, because where it was fitness and supplementation, everything that's part and parcel of that, I actually started a 2.0 page. And even on my 2.0 page, I talk more about cars. I talk more about fragrances. By the way, this is my studio, right? This is a room, and this is where we film in a lot of the content. And on this side of the room, myself, I've always been very passionate about fragrances. I haven't made any content prior to that. One of my dear friends, also very passionate about fragrances. The two of us just talk about fragrances all the time. We're always buying and trying new fragrances. And he has started focusing on fragrance content. That's doing very well for him. I actually did a fragrance video myself, and that also was received very well because I spoke so passionately about it. So now down to the nitty-gritty. So you've established your niche, you've established your purpose and intent, and you start to make content. The longevity in that is how you operate now, which is essentially your little business. So we are in the business of content creation. And with that, you have to treat it and operate it like a business. This is where I've seen so many people fail. With Rise, we have close to 100 sponsored athletes, but most of my friends are some sort of content creator. And I've been with these guys for years, and I've witnessed a lot of them see initial growth, and then they kind of stagnate. And they stagnate because they don't treat it like a business. They treat it more like a hobby. Now, a lot of them earn very well initially, and they become complacent because it's very casual. You go to the gym, pull out your phone, physique shot, maybe film a quick video, and that's it. That's your day done. And that's probably why a lot of people want to become a social media influencer. 6 to even 8 hours to produce. There's so much time that goes into the initial planning, the scripting, the filming, the editing. And that's because myself and my team, we treat it like a business, and we've set such a high standard for ourselves, and we have from day one. Now, what might benefit this is the fact that I have prior years, I had a software company for 15 years prior to becoming a social media influencer. So bringing that business mindset into it has definitely helped. That's why I'm here to teach you guys. That's why I'm here to give you guys tips. Another thing that I've seen, which is on this topic, is failure to adapt. Because as a business, one of the other things that you want to be able to do is a competitor analysis. Look at who your competitors are and what they're doing. What you want to be able to do is look at pivoting and adapting when trends and landscapes, platforms change, such as which happens ever so often with social media. If I continue to make the same sort of content in the same style from when I started, I would not be sitting here today, such as many of the people that I've seen, many friends that I've had, and many of the creators that we've signed to Rise. But if you're adapting and evolving with trends, platforms, algorithms, and you treat it like a business, you're far more likely to succeed and establish a very sustainable business model around this. Now, fair enough, a lot of you guys don't have 15 years of business experience like I have. But if you've ever worked a job, the same principles apply. Whether you're a barista at Starbucks, you show up, you're on time, you're held accountable, you have things that you need to do, and you have someone that you report to. The difference here is that you're reporting to yourself. So manage the things that you have to do, establish what those things are that you need to do, and hold yourself accountable to them. Next up, I probably should have started with this. And the reason why I say that is so many people who are going to advise on social media is going to talk about this as probably the most important thing, and that is consistency. And the reason why I didn't start with this is because you start with something like that and everyone thinks, oh, it's so cliche. Because if you ask anyone who's been successful in social media, they will always say to you, consistency. But there's a reason. There's a very important reason. One, the platforms require it. Especially when you're starting out, you have to be consistent. You have to publish videos as consistently as possible across all platforms. TikTok, Instagram, these require you to post consistently multiple videos throughout the day, or post videos every single day until your account is established. YouTube requires consistency in posting the same time of the week, the same time of day. They thrive off of these consistencies. Outside of the requirements of the platform, that consistency is going to benefit yourself and ultimately the quality of content that you put out. Mr. Beast himself said, you have to put out 100 pieces of content before you succeed. Now, there's truth in that. Obviously, the guy's done incredibly well for himself. But the truth is that every video script that you work on, every video that you film, every video that you edit is going to bring you more experience. With the consistency that you apply, the more videos that you publish, the more consistency that you put into looking into the analytics. That's going to teach you more things about what's working with the content and ultimately help you put out better content that's going to lead you to being a more successful and better creator. So consistency truly is one of the key, most important things that I can leave you with today. Finally, what I want to add here, if you're showing up for yourself consistently, you're showing up for others consistently too. And you're helping establish yourself and you're helping establish that connection with your audience. Now, there's a whole nother segment on this. So this is probably a very good segue to that. Next up, and this is where I see a lot of creators fail, but probably the most important thing in my opinion, community. And the reason why I say that is some creators, whether they're starting out or been doing this for a couple of years, they take these numbers for granted. It's almost like they get desensitized to these numbers. They see 100,000 views and they see it as the number 100,000. 100,000 people. And what that looks like in terms of people versus that little number that you see on your post. And people get desensitized to that and they forget these are actual people pressing that like button. They forget that that following, those millions of followers, are actual people that have decided that they want to follow them and want to view their content. These are actual people that are commenting, that are sending DMs. These same people that have feelings, that have emotions. And those feelings and emotions should not be neglected. And appreciation and gratitude should be expressed to these people. This is something that I put in 4 to 6 hours of my day. I'm constantly sitting cross-platform, engaging with people in comments, DMs, tags, story replies, because I realize if not for these people, I wouldn't be in this position that I am today. And if not for these people that are leaving these comments, that are assisting with the algorithm, that my content wouldn't do as well as what it's doing. So I am personally incredibly grateful and appreciative to these people, to you people, my people. And that's why I just want to do as much as I can to assist you, to continue to provide you with value. And if at some point I can have a one-on-one interaction where I can either give thanks or assist you with something that you're struggling with, that goes so very far. Creators in general would not be in the position that they are, because those likes, those comments, everything, all of that contributes to the position that they're in. So from my side, I'm forever saying thank you. Maybe this is just one more opportunity for me to say thank you once again to my audience. Final point, let's talk about equipment. And there's a good reason why I left this to the very end. It's probably because I think it's the least important. And a lot of people might argue that, because I've actually filmed content and we've actually taken pictures, and everyone asks, what camera is that? As if the camera is the difference, as if the camera is going to get that shot. It's not the camera. Okay, it helps. The difference comes down to how you use it. Let me give you an example. Let's look at a painting. Do we look at that painting and say, wow, what paintbrush did he use? Probably not. Yeah, there's some cool paintbrushes out there. But you look at that painting and it's an expression of the artist himself. It's the creative process that's gone into making that painting. And that's the same way when it comes to content creation. Another example, let's look at Sam Sulek. Guaranteed his first videos were filmed with his phone and a tripod. No fancy camera, no fancy lenses, no fancy lighting. You do not need fancy equipment, because a lot of people actually use this as an excuse. So many creators or so many aspiring creators always say to me, I don't have the equipment, I don't have the money for the equipment. So I can't make content in order to make money in order to buy better equipment. What you have is a phone, and that phone is more than sufficient. In fact, today, social media has changed so rapidly that people don't want that very polished, over-polished look in terms of content. They're asking for more real, more raw content. And you don't get more real and you don't get more raw than something that's shot off your phone. And my entire 2.0 page, I have 1.4 million followers on my 2.0 page. And almost every single piece of content on there was shot with the phone. So no, you don't need fancy equipment. It does help. So yes, equipment really is not that important, especially when you're starting out. I want to show you guys something. In fact, Jordan, just pick up the camera. Yes, this is shot on a very expensive camera, but look at this. This is an office light that's actually used to light up my screen, but the lighting itself, and if you know how to manipulate lighting, you're gonna get a far better look. Even if I was to film this on my phone right now, small things like wiping the smudge marks off of your camera lens, having good lighting, and actually filming this on the phone is gonna give you a far better look than a camera that's set to auto because you don't know how to use it and hoping to get the desired result. So here's a funny story, but probably the first 400 videos that I ever filmed, I had close to 10 million. I'm going to say it was probably 7 to 8 million followers were filmed on a $6 ring light, which I got at China Market in South Africa. We found out this light wasn't bright enough to really film during the day. So we'd wait until night. We'd wait until it was dark enough and position this at the right angle overhead. And it gave such a good look that we were able to stand out, differentiate ourselves from all of the other videos because it had such a unique look that only when I came to America for the first time and I actually started to spend more time around other influencers and I started to spend time with the guys at Rise that I saw the other type of lighting that was available. I bought my first tube light in the United States. But for 2 years, 400 videos approximately, $6 ring light. So all of these intricacies, all of this equipment, the lack of equipment, it's all excuses, right? Pick up whatever device you have and start creating content. Start gaining the experience from the consistency that you put in. Most importantly, be yourself. On social media, there's enough of a facade, there's enough fakeness. What social media lacks, in fact, what the world lacks, is realness. So be real, add value, because that is going to go so much further. I hope you guys gain something from this. I hope this helps you. If there's anything else that you need tips with, please let me know below. We've got a whole lot more content coming. And I'll see you next time.